Welcome to the Business Finance Bulletin, episode 288. Welcome again to the latest Business Finance Bulletin. With me, Rob Warlow from Business Loan Services, the commercial finance experts. In this bulletin, businesses accessing finance for cash flow rather than investment, new tool launched to help identify export opportunities, and asset finance growth outstrips traditional bank lending. In recent bulletins, I've been highlighting the fact that many businesses felt that 2019 was a year of stagnation. There was just too much uncertainty around for them to plan new investments and plan for growth. Now, this has very much been brought out by the latest quarterly Small Business Index survey carried out by the Federation of Small Business. The latest survey for Q4 2019 kind of demonstrated this air of reluctance that many businesses had. Now, they took a look, for example, at the use of finance. Now, of those businesses that successfully obtained finance, the funds were used in 37% of cases to fund cash flow. Only 23% were for new equipment purchase and only 16% for general business expansion. So we can see that businesses were very much using money just to keep the day-to-day business going in terms of plugging cash flow gaps. What about appetite to borrow? Well, that was down as well. In that last quarter, only 13% of businesses surveyed said they had applied for finance, and that was down from 15% in the previous quarter. And where did the banks sit in this? Well, even the banks were getting cautious. The report found that only 63% of them said they managed to get a yes from the bank. Now, you may think that's still quite a high number, but it's down 8 percentage points from the previous quarter. So you can see the banks were a little bit negative and business owners are also a little bit negative. Well, as I mentioned in a previous bulletin, though, we are beginning to see that 2020 is turning into a year of a bit more positivity and certainty. So what can you do if you want to look for finance? Remember, be prepared. Make sure that you've got your credit files bang up to date, and also make sure you've got up to date financial information. All of this will help in getting that all too elusive yes. Over the last 2 to 3 years, more and more businesses are considering turning to the export market or selling overseas in order to boost sales. Now, there are a number of reasons why firms are reluctant to start exporting. First of all, it's the whole process around it. What on earth do I do as regards all the paperwork? Next, it's identifying opportunities. And the third point, perhaps the most important reason, is how do I manage and identify the risk? It's bad enough dealing with customers in the UK, but how on earth can I assess risks in dealing in a foreign country? Well, the trade credit insurance provider Euler Hermes have announced the launch of Trade Match, and this is a free-to-use tool for businesses who are thinking of exporting. Trade Match will identify export opportunities in 70 countries across 17 sectors. Having identified those opportunities, it'll then use up to 2 million pieces of data that it holds and to assess the risks that you could face. Once you know those risks, of course, you can then mitigate them. This database will be updated every quarter, and so it'll be really up to date with everything that's going on both globally and in those particular countries and sector. So if you are interested in exporting, you want to know a little bit more about what those risks and opportunities are, go along to the Euler Hermes website, which is tradematch.eulerhermes.com. To close this bulletin, our monthly look at what's going on in the asset finance world. Now, we're great fans of asset finance. It's a superb way of purchasing plant and machinery, commercial vehicles, IT equipment, basically anything that moves. This, of course, is being done via HP and leasing. Now, the asset finance world has really had a bit of a boom over the last couple of years. As we know, bank lending is essentially flatlined. If you look at the figures, on a net basis, bank lending is growing at around 1.25% per month. However, the latest figures for 2019 from the Finance and Leasing Association has shown that the total amount of business done by asset finance providers in 2019 actually grew in volumes by 6% across the whole of the year. Now, you may think, oh, still a kind of lowish figure, but say you benchmark that against what the banks have done, a very significant difference. And where are businesses spending their money? Well, there was a 9% increase in commercial vehicles financed via asset asset finance, and also a 5% jump in plant and equipment that was purchased via HP and leasing. So a lot of good activity there. However, a little bit of a warning sign: in December 2019, the growth rate compared to volumes of business written in December 18 was only 1%. So we can see towards the tail end of 2019, it seems that activity did kind of tail off. And that kind of fits in with this whole problem in the last quarter of 2019 about stagnation, which I mentioned in the first segment of this bulletin. Now, if you want to know more about asset finance and how it can work for you and your business, just drop us an email, info@businessloanservices.co.uk, and we'll happily chat you through all the various options. Well, that's it for another bulletin. As ever, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to give it a like and a share. So that's it. Have a great, successful and profitable week, and look forward to being with you next time.